Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today's October 8th, 2023. Today's video we're going to be taking a look at the greenhouse. It's been 1 year since we got the greenhouse assembled. Well, it was October 14th, and so it's 6 days less, but close enough. Anyway, I'm going to give you a quick look at the flaws I had, and then we're going to look at what I did to resolve those issues. So let me get the camera turned around and let's get started. For those of y'all who watched the original assembly video, you saw that I had some issues with the cover, and the zipper had some issues where it wasn't sewn well and there was a big gap. And when I contacted the company, they ended up sending me a whole new greenhouse instead of just another cover. So this is the original framework of the greenhouse. And in my original video, I talked about everything I thought would be a flaw, and the things I mentioned were the connectors, and as you can see, I had issues with the connectors. The connectors are made out of plastic, and when the high winds, I had some high winds, they snapped, so I ended up having to tape that. There's another one taped, another one right there taped. So we had issues with those connectors snapping just like I thought we would, and we were able to limp through by using some tape to kind of put it back together. And one of the strong winds was so strong it even snapped that one right there, so this completely collapsed in, and that was a big issue for us. And that was probably our worst issue, is this whole framework isn't strong enough with them plastic connectors. And then if the plastic connectors would have been stronger, these the poles, the metal they're made out of is just way too thin, and we actually had some of them bend before the plastic connectors break from water gathering on the cover. So that was another issue we ended up having, was water. The cover would sag down and water would get trapped up there, and the weight of the water was a problem. And so those are the two main problems. The poles aren't a heavy enough gauge, and the connectors are just, they're plastic and they're just too weak. And then the other issue we had was with the zipper. It failed on the original cover. We'll just turn around and look at this side of the greenhouse is open. So let's just walk up to the greenhouse we have set up now. And so this zipper is weak. It's about the quality of a cheap purse or something, and it needs to be the quality of a jacket or a sleeping bag for something like this, because whoever's buying this, me or anyone else, is going to be going in and out all the time, and it needs a better zipper. Second problem with the zipper, let's walk around the other side and I'll be able to illustrate it. And the whole reason that they sent me a whole nother greenhouse was because the same issue with this greenhouse, just not as bad. You look closely right here, it's a little gap. And the reason that is because whoever's sewing this, they got to be pretty much perfect. They ain't got enough material here on the edge of the zipper. So if they aren't getting things lined up perfectly, then you end up with something like that happening. Where on the original one, the gap was probably 6 inches, and that's only a couple inches. It's still a problem. And so the quality of that zipper is going to be a problem for me eventually. They both work right now. Let's go ahead and unzip this side. There's a shot of the Ginger and our cat Tuna. He always photobombs our videos. When I go back and watch him, I notice he seems to make an appearance in almost every one. Let me get this unzipped and we'll look inside the greenhouse. So you can see, I already moved a few things in there. The carambola, the miracle fruit, our sour sops, and some pineapples. So it's been getting down in the 40s last night and supposed to get down in the low 40s tonight. So talked about all the problems we had, and I had lots of ideas on what to do about it. And I probably went with the more expensive one, but it's the one that's going to solve all my problems, and that is I bought 2 cattle panels and I bowed them across the top of it. Now this structure is solid. It ain't going nowhere. You ain't blowing it down. So I won't have to worry about that this winter. My only thing I'm gonna have to worry about now will be the zippers, and I'll deal with those when the time comes. So, I mean, that was probably the easiest modification, cattle panels, but it probably wasn't necessarily the cheapest. So I only had to buy the cattle panels because I had the other things I used on hand, which was tie wraps. And also you probably will want to buy some rebar because the stakes they give you to hold this down aren't big enough. So if you look down here, I got a solid piece right down there driven in the ground at least a foot, maybe further. But you could buy a rebar and do what I did there if you didn't already have I had that left over from another project. But you could probably get the whole modification done for an additional $100. Then you'd have about $200, I guess, in this thing altogether. And I mean, for 5x10, it's gonna do what I need to do. And now that I've made these modifications, it's gonna last a while for me. I think that's gonna be all right. So there's the greenhouse after a year's time. If you're gonna buy one of these greenhouses that are put together in a similar manner, I'm just gonna tell you, it ain't gonna hold up to strong wind. If you got a small yard with a privacy fence that has the wind pretty much blocked from all directions, you might be able to do okay without any modifications. But otherwise, you're gonna have to do something that's just not solid enough to hold up to any kind of strong winds. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna keep this video kind of short, and just wanted to give you all a quick update on everything I had done here, and I'm pretty happy with what I got going on now. And it looks like we've picked up a few new subscribers, and I want to thank y'all and thank everybody who's been subscribed and been watching. Hope y'all continue, and I'm going to continue putting out content. Hopefully some of it's going to be a little more interesting coming up here with these fruit trees about to give us some fruit. So with that, I'm just going to say like, subscribe, and share, and enjoy your day.